Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode of the BG Show. I'm here to talk about Batman Cape Crusader, the new animated show on Amazon Prime. I'll start with non-spoiler thoughts first, so don't worry. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil anything. First things first, right off the bat, and I want to address this first. If you have not watched any animated Batman since the Batman animated series, I don't want you thinking that this is the first animated Batman thing or DC thing. There is a lot of animated content on HBO Max. Maybe you can find some of it on Prime. The DC animated universe is one of the best things in all of the comic book universes, including the MCU, including comic books, just any medium. Go watch the Batman animated series. Go watch Justice League. Go watch Justice League Unlimited. Go watch the Superman animated show, and then go through the DC animated movies: Justice League Doom, Justice League War, Crisis on Infinite Earth. There's like the original one, and now there's a Part 3 one. There's The Long Halloween. There's Batman Hush. There's a ton of stuff, so just go get into it. I'll make separate videos on that. Now, getting into the show, first things first, should you watch this? I think anyone should watch this show. I think if you're a Batman fan, certainly. If you're not a Batman fan, if you like animation, if you don't like animation, I just think it's a good way to spend. I think it's about 3.5 hours. It's about 20, 25-minute episodes. It's 10 episodes. It's well-paced. It's good. It takes place in the 40s. And I guess that's the first thing that I'll touch on. Not really a negative, but to me, Gotham City is kind of timeless. It doesn't really exist in a time period, if that makes sense. When you're watching the 90s Batman movies, I guess you could say it looks like it takes place in the 90s, but in most Batman movies, even in the Christian Bale ones, you can't really tell what year it is. It's kind of ambiguous. I guess in the Bale ones, it kind of looks like the 2000s, but one thing I like about the 90s ones, it really is ambiguous. You don't really know what year it is. Gotham City is just Gotham City. It's always kind of the same. There really is no past, present, or future. It's always just kind of ambiguous. It's not, I don't want to say it's supernatural, but it's just kind of its own thing. It's like a spin-off of New York. It's not New York. So the fact that they put it specifically in the 40s, kind of had a weird effect on it because there were scenes where you didn't really notice it, and then there were scenes when you noticed it. I really only really noticed it in the way they were dressing, and I guess in the regular cars on the road. Other than that, I didn't think it really mattered. I think it kind of it didn't really need to be done. But other than that, I think this is a really fresh take on Batman. The Batman voice is really good. No one will ever be Kevin Conroy, but I know that was a big like issue or worry for me at least going in. It's really good. The voice acting on everyone's good. It has some really good, fresh perspective on characters like Harley Quinn, like Two-Face, and a few other ones I think is really good. It's like I said, it's well-paced. It doesn't really get boring. It's serious. It has some good jokes. Look, this show isn't going to change your life. It's not like the best show ever made. It's not like the best. It's not like a Spider-Verse, right? You're not going to walk in and be like, oh, my God, this changed my life. And maybe Spider-Verse didn't, but for me, it kind of did. But it's still really, really good. I wouldn't put it on the level of the original Batman animated series, but it's certainly like a worthy successor. It's a quality show. I got to give J.J. Abrams credit, who I usually shit on. Bruce Timm, who was like the executive producer of the show. Do I have any complaints? I guess I don't know main complaint, but I don't think there's like a huge climax of the show. It kind of has... It kind of like on the one hand, it's episode by episode. They don't really connect, but on the same time, they kind of loosely connect. So it's not really episode of the week, and it's also not one long plot. There's a couple of plots that kind of go on. There's one plot, I don't want to spoil, that kind of goes on throughout the season that I think is a pretty good payoff. But other than that, the plots are kind of loosely kind of in the background as the main plot of each episode goes on and on and on. Some really, really good spins on some characters. There are some characters they didn't get into. I was hoping they'd get into. They tease a character at the very, very end. They tease a villain at the end, who I won't say who they tease for next season. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of things they can do. Look, I want all the DC animated content I can get. Okay, I don't care. Like, obviously, I hope it's all good, but even if it's mediocre, just give it all to me, right? I'll consume it all, and I'll worry about the end later. And the reason I say that is the more stuff you give me, it allows me to forget more, if that makes sense, right? The more stuff I watch, the more stuff I have to remember, and because I have to remember all of it, I forget some of it, and then when I forget it, I'm able to go back and watch it again, which is the best thing about Clone Wars on Star Wars, is that because we have it, I'm able to watch it again and again and again, whereas, you can only watch the movie so many times. By getting these animated shows, you forget a lot what goes on in the individual episodes, and it makes it really, really good on a rewatch. It makes it great for background noise. I mean, it's just like, just throw it on in the background. So, I definitely hope this show gets another season or multiple seasons. I don't know if it'll ever get on the level of the Batman animated show. I don't know if it's because I watched it when I was a kid or just the animation style or what, but that show is just so good. And like I said, there's so many good DC animated properties. I think it's certainly, I mean, I don't know where I'd rank it, versus like Batman Beyond versus Superman. I really have to think about that. But it's certainly like a quality show. Watch it. I'm going to do a spoiler review now. So just go watch the show. It's 10 episodes on Amazon Prime. Why is it on Prime and not Max? Honestly, I'm not sure. It's a sort of contractual thing. I think it's kind of weird. But anyway, that's my non-spoiler review. I highly recommend it. I'd give this like a solid 8 out of 10, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Don't really have any complaints other than just I don't love it as much as some other shows, but I certainly like it. That's my non-spoiler review. I'm going to do spoiler thoughts now. Thanks, guys, for watching. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.